Another person who hopes and wished there was no update is Malema. False allegations again. The story broke this morning, by the way, which means that right now, as you press play on this video, Julius Malema is either being informed or has just been informed that the National Prosecuting Authority has issued an instruction to arrest him criminally for Crimen, injuria. Sounds like a royal name. And I need to tell you the full story of how we got here, because it is one of the most damning incidents that happens when powerful people assume because of the platform they have, they are untouchable. You see, in April 2025, last year, around the period of my birthday, Julius Malema stood at the EFF's Land Reclamation Day at the Sophia Town Extreme Park in Johannesburg. It was one of those rallies where he tells all the black kids to take land from white people and sings Kill the Boer, if you want to know what that was about. So he made a statement publicly to thousands of young people on camera that has now resulted in him facing criminal prosecution. Yes, he might get arrested. He accused Jaco Pieterse, the then principal of Bergview College in Matatiele in the Eastern Cape, of raping a 7-year-old girl. That's right, everybody. Julius Malema publicly claimed this innocent man raped a 7-year-old girl, known publicly as Cwecwe. That was the girl's name. And I spoke about Cwecwe, and I was one of the influencers who said justice for Cwecwe when all the other influencers were acting like they had no idea what was going on and were standing there with tails between their legs because they didn't want to say something that would make the companies that sponsor them cut the funding. And I was the influencer that came in there like, nobody paying me. Justice for Cwecwe, mofos. Yeah, so he said the principal was being treated differently from other suspects. He stood in front of a crowd and said it out loud, without any evidence, by the way, without a court finding, without charges having been laid, without any formal determination of guilt. The complaint against Malema stems from statements he made on April 6, 2025 at the party's Land Reclamation Day. At this event, Malema publicly claimed that a school principal raped. I'm not even going to hide the word. He said this. He claims the principal raped a 7-year-old girl and alleged that the principal was being treated differently from other suspects, which was a complete lie. Because what was the reality? Exactly. What does the evidence actually show? Plot twist, he didn't have any evidence. The NPA confirmed in May 2025 that it would not prosecute anyone linked to the alleged sexual assault. The NPA's spokesperson stated that there is no evidence of rape or sexual assault after the minor girl was interviewed and examined by medical practitioners and forensic social workers. So, surprise, surprise, bada bing, bada boom. This was just another social engineering skit. Another psyop. Turns out Cwecwe was never raped. There was no evidence of rape or sexual assault after Cwecwe was interviewed and examined by medical practitioners and forensic social workers. There was no evidence of rape. The child was interviewed and examined by medical practitioners. There was no DNA of another person inside her. She was examined by forensic social workers. And the NPA said there is no evidence of rape or sexual assault. Cwecwe was never raped. So justice for Cwecwe was a psyop. Jaco Pieterse, a school principal, a man with a career, a human being with a family and feelings, a reputation built over years of professional service to his school and his country, was publicly called a rapist for nothing by the leader of a major political party who thinks he can do whatever the hell he wants to thousands of people on camera, on social media, because why not? While forensic experts were already finding zero evidence of the crime he was being accused of, even if Cwecwe was raped. Okay, let's say all these terrible things did happen to this poor little girl. He didn't do it. Now we're finding out Cwecwe was never raped in the first place. And then the justice for Cwecwe hashtags disappeared. Because she was never raped, you idiots. Believing the psyop, the false allegations have not only alarmed me, but have also caused immense pain to my family and friends. Those were not my words, those are his words. He also said, I trust that this process will vindicate and measure and ensure that there is accountability for those who falsely accused others of committing vile crimes without any regard for the consequences. His words, not mine. He also said he hopes the courts send a strong message that there are consequences for making such reckless and damaging allegations. Pieterse said all of this. And now AfriForum's Private Prosecution Unit, led by Advocate Gerrie Nel, and he don't play around, the man who prosecuted Oscar Pistorius, that's how I know he don't play around, he convicted the NPA to act. The NPA has instructed the chief public prosecutor at the Johannesburg Magistrates Court to initiate prosecution proceedings against Malema on a charge of, listen to this, Crimen, injuria. Crimen, injuria. That is the unlawful, intentional, and serious violation of another person's dignity. Now then, the court will have to determine whether Malema standing at a public political event and accusing a man of raping a child without evidence, after forensic examination found no evidence, violated Jaco Pieterse's dignity in a criminal manner.
We are hearing now from Barry Bateman, who speaks for AfriForum's legal unit, speaking about this matter. Let's listen in.
South Africa's got a rape crisis. We've got a child abuse crisis, and falsely being accused of having committed this crime against a child is devastating. So it's on that basis that these charges are going to be pursued. I mean, I'll just give an example as well. Mr. Mbalula referred to Mr. Pieterse as an animal. And how would AfriForum be defending an animal who rapes children? This is simply unacceptable. There must be consequences for people who falsely accuse others in the public domain. And social media has been a particular difficulty or a problem in this regard, in that these false allegations had been repeated unquestionably. And Mr. Pieterse, it has uprooted his entire life and has pretty much brought an end to his career as a teacher, something he's dedicated his life to.
I want to make a point that Gerrie Nel himself made in his representations to the NPA because it is almost too perfect to be real. In those representations, Gerrie Nel drew a pointed comparison to Malema's own legal story. He noted that Julius Malema had previously sought court protection after being publicly labeled a drug dealer. Yes, drug dealer, and had also instructed lawyers to act against a blogger who claimed his marriage was in trouble. Julius Malema, who went to court to protect himself from a blogger writing about his marriage, is being prosecuted for publicly calling an innocent man a child molester. The man who sought legal protection for his own reputation is being held legally accountable for destroying someone else's. I genuinely cannot decide if this is justice or irony. It might be both simultaneously, actually. This is the man's current legal situation. There is a 5-year prison sentence on top of this man's head for firing a rifle in a stadium, pending appeal. Powers and Privileges Committee referral for refusing to apologize to a Supreme Court judge since 2021. Potential JSC removal proceedings, we spoke about that. Madlanga Commission allegations about WhatsApp messages, tender lists, VBS money, crime intelligence generals, drug dealers. And now a criminal prosecution for crimen injuria for publicly accusing an innocent man of child rape. I said in our earlier coverage that I was genuinely concerned about Malema. The man is in a downward spiral. He is spiraling, and it is so abundantly evident it is actually getting sad to see. I said in our earlier coverage of Malema that I was genuinely concerned about this seemingly downward spiral. The man is spiraling. He is spiraling. He was once really paranoid, now he is just spiraling. And I stand by that statement. Why? Because I want his political ideology destroyed. But also because watching someone with genuine political intelligence and the charisma he has, someone who could have been such a transformative force in South African politics, to watch someone like that make decision after decision that accumulates consequence after consequence in the bad sense is genuinely concerning. I am concerned for the guy. Remember, guys, I only criticize these people on a political level. Okay? None of this, I don't have any animosity against any of these politicians. It's all professional. It's all political. There's nothing personal. I don't know them. They don't know me. Okay? There's nothing personal between us. So when you see someone like Malema just in this downward spiral, yes, you disagree with him politically, but you just can't help but feel bad for the guy because he's still a human being with a family. You know what I'm saying? Like, the guy just looks really bad. Have you seen how skinny he is? Goodness me. The commander-in-chief, what happened to you? Has the legal record of someone who makes decisions as if accountability is for other people. Jaco Pieterse is an innocent man, and the SGJ SAMBIT said that. Whoever said his name in the wrong manner, we are watching you. Whoever dragged his name through every platform in South Africa, we are watching you. This is a man who had to live with people looking at him differently because of an allegation that wasn't even real, whose family had to hear what was being said about him knowing it wasn't true, who had to go to court to defend himself against something that never happened. Justice for Jaco Pieterse. Everyone was saying justice for Cwecwe. I say justice for Jaco Pieterse. Justice for Jaco Pieterse. Justice for Cwecwe was a psyop. Nothing happened to her. Justice for Jaco Pieterse. He deserves justice. And today, on this lovely Women's Day of all days, the NPA said there will be accountability even for the powerful. GPV is a two-sided thing. Domestic violence is a two-sided thing. Rape is a two-sided thing. It doesn't only happen to women. Justice for Jaco Pieterse, the real victim of this story.